Hello and welcome to the CNN IBN special. My guest on our special interview today is Union Minister Prakash Javadekar. Mr. Javadekar, welcome on CNN IBN.
Yes.
First, tell me, sir, I've known of you for such a long time. You were a charioteer many years back. From a charioteer, you became the spokesperson and now you're a minister. Tell me, had you ever thought in your wildest dreams that you'd be sitting and occupying this chair that you're occupying?
No, I'm in public life for last 40 years, not today. I started with Jail Yatra during Jayaprakash Narayan led agitation in emergency. I was ABP youth leader and I was in the Pune University elected Senate member. So from there on, my journey has started as political. So we have seen the worst.
And you've seen the best.
We have the right.
Is this the best? Is this the best phase for you?
To serve the country in any capacity is always the best.
But you know, Mr. Javadekar, now you are the minister and you occupy such crucial portfolios. You're the Minister for Information Broadcasting. You are the Environment Minister. You are a crucial cog in the wheel, I should say, in government's policy making. Tell me, sir, how difficult is it for you to take critical policy decisions which have been known to be contentious? For instance, even the genetic modified crops business.
See,
I'm seeing all statements which are being made by different stakeholders. But are we really moving towards some kind of a solution in that?
See, I think public policy is derived by the public interest, means largest good of the largest people. What is in the national interest? If that is the consideration, then it's easy. If you have some other considerations, quote unquote, then it's a problem. And therefore, I have no problem.
You have no problem. But it's very interesting that you yourself are saying that if you have these other considerations, then it's a problem. But then tell me, Mr. Javadekar, since you are the Environment Minister, what is going on as far as the genetic modified crops policy of this government is concerned? Are you open to field trials? Are you not open to field trials? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea?
No, the issue is very simple. A committee related to these crops and field trials and biotechnology, so that has looked into it and has suggested recommended field trials of the thing. As per the process, those recommendations are processed in the ministry and then the file will come to me.
No, but so, sir, you see, the truth is something else.
No,
the truth is not just the recommendation of the GEAC. The truth is that there is a Supreme Court appointed monitoring committee which has asked for a moratorium. There has been a PIL in the Supreme Court since 2005.
No, you are talking about two different things. Let me tell you. The decision on safety of food,
right,
GM in food, is one aspect,
right,
which is entirely different. The crop is different and trials is different. So field trials is a laboratory extension done on the field. It is not for consumption. So once you are doing field trials, you are extending your laboratory experimentation.
But that's my point, sir. There is a moratorium on those field trials.
No, that is why.
There is a question. Parliament's own standing committee, in fact, has asked for a moratorium.
That is why, before we take final call, we'll all discuss these all aspects: legal, court orders, directions, as well as the parliamentary standing recommendations. But for me, I always believe that we should not shun science. So you can't be doing Galileo again. When Galileo said that the earth revolves around the sun, he was thrown out because you see sun going around the earth.
No, let's be clear, Mr. Javadekar. Yeah. Because people of the country want to know, is India set for genetically modified crops, genetically modified eatables?
We are not talking about the crops or the consumption of genetically modified food.
Okay.
What we are talking right now about is a science experimentation, extension of lab experiment to the field.
But what is this about?
So it is all field trials.
I agree. But
it is not for consumption.
I agree.
Unless it is proved safe.
It has to be the first step, no?
No, but
unless you have the first step, you're not going to immediately start consuming these products.
How can you stop science from going ahead?
So therefore, Mr. Javadekar, are you suggesting that your government is committed first, as a first step, to carry on with these field trials? And then if these field trials give you the correct results, and maybe you will move in that direction.
You please, Bhupendra, understand that it's a long process therein. It's field trial even if somebody allows. It takes 5 to 10 years to determine whether they are successful and whether they are useful and whether they are safe for human consumption or not, and whether our earth grows or not. But many countries are doing it.
No, I agree. I'm looking at data and I'm looking at America, for instance, where the per acre of land which is being used for genetically modified crop cultivation has only increased, whether it's the US, whether it's Brazil, it's Argentina, Canada, China.
Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh, it's only in India where questions are being raised. Because the fundamental point is that this genetically engineered, this GEAC, the committee that you're talking about, the questions which have been raised about GEAC are also very serious. That it's a body which is being dominated and manipulated by vested interests. Does Prakash Javadekar agree with that perception?
No, I'll not say anything of this kind right now as I'm heading the ministry. What I'll say is, we will study the report, A, in light of the recommendations of the standing committee, in light of the directions of the court, and in the best interest of the country, we'll arrive at a decision.
Now, when you say that you're not opposed to science, I'm only sort of corroborating what you're saying with what Prime Minister Modi himself said a few days back when he was addressing scientists.
When the Prime Minister said that one drop more crop,
yes,
that means we must address the issue of productivity. We must address the issue of more production. We must address, because we have to be competitive in the world market also.
But you see, sir, that there lies an inherent contradiction in what you're pointing out. Because you come from the state of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
You, I'm sure, would know, sir, that in Vidarbha region, for instance, there have been many studies, many experiments which have been carried out, which show that those farmers who are using even genetically modified cotton, the input cost per acre over a period of time has ended up increasing. Now, when you say that one drop more crop, it's a very good simile, it's a very good phrase. But there is a problem when you start implementing it on the ground.
No, absolutely wrong, Bhupendra.
Why?
I have studied that.
I'm giving you government's own figures, sir.
I'll tell you. See, the production cost increases,
yes,
but the production increases, and therefore, now today, 90% of cotton growing farmers have adopted GM crop. Why it failed in Vidarbha's 6 districts and why it didn't fail in other parts of the country?
Right.
The reason is this. You need an assured water supply for sustaining the GM crop yields. And there, Gujarat has provided with lakhs of check dams the assured water supply, assured micro irrigation to the cotton. And in Maharashtra, that irrigation scheme, despite the Prime Minister's package and so forth, nothing has come about. And therefore, without assured water supply, the farmers suffer and they commit suicide. That is the story in Telangana also.
Right.
And it was to the still story. Unless you have an assured water supply, GM crops, and even on the GM crop seeds, the packet also it is written that you must have that sure supply of water, otherwise you don't get the results. But those who get, now nobody, if any country can, any government or any party can say that we don't want GM cotton, farmers will throw them out because farmers have adopted it.
So you think because farmers have adopted GM cotton, you think at some point of time, farmers will also be forced,
I have not said anything
to adopt
about
GM crop also.
No, I have not said anything about it. That's too far.
No, I'm asking you. That if you could deal with cotton, could you deal with other
areas? Let
animals?
us go step by step. Cotton is a non-food item. Food item has definitely a safety factor which should be accounted for.
Right.
And we should be really.
So do you have a timeline in your mind? Do you have a time frame of sorts on your mind?
No, what time frame?
To carry on with field trials? To carry on with field trials?
See, it will be decisions will be taken at an appropriate time. The issue is we want due deliberations, and at the same time we want science to prevail. We have to progress. We have to go further. And as the Prime Minister rightly said, one drop more crop is our challenge for productivity.
I'm sorry to be persisting with this line of argument, but I want to be clear. Because people of this country want to know, sir, when on one hand you say that you're not opposed to science, of course everyone will agree with you. Then you say that I also want to ensure that enough safety precautions are in place, of course everyone will agree with you. Therefore, when I extrapolate from these two basic premises and I say that the BJP government is in favor over a period of time of genetically modified edibles being a reality in India, would I be wrong?
This is, I think, that's not on the table. That decision is not on the table. Because we are not talking about the crops. We are talking about the trials.
Right.
But that's the only thing.
But even on those trials, sir, the RSS and RSS-backed organizations...
No, there are many others.
Don't seem to be agreeing with you.
No. No, RSS has never opposed the science.
Are you saying
Progression of things.
that the RSS is not opposed to
At
genetically
least they
modified
have not
crops?
come to me and said this.
You know, because
that they oppose. On the other hand, they say we support science. You have to be taking precautions, and that's a correct stand. Anybody will agree. So what I am saying is, Bhupendra, for 10 years we are interacting. You know,
Yes.
you can extract from me only what I
No,
want
I
to
know
give you.
you're a brilliant spokesperson, but I'm just trying to cut through the spokesperson
No,
script which
no.
you have mastered, and I'm just trying to understand, therefore, for the benefit of my viewers, what is the stated position on the BJP,
The stated position of the
which was there in
ministry.
your manifesto also, by the
It
way.
is also there.
Yes.
See, GM food is an entirely different gamut.
Yes.
We need to deliberate on that much before, but today is not that stage. Today what we are talking is about, and what the recommendations have come about is only about field trials. And so, if you want to devote only on one subject, I have no issue.
No. I'm moving on to other subjects, but
Then come.
But no. But sir, I mean, you surely would give me the prerogative of deciding what
This is
question
the
I should
only
ask
thing.
you.
Yes,
But
but
therefore,
this is the only thing I can say right at this stage.
at this point of time, you're saying you're not opposed to science.
Yes,
You are saying
I will never be opposing science.
you will
and
never be
nobody
opposed to
should.
science. Nobody should. And you are saying that you will ensure that all safety precautions are in place
Yes.
before you move ahead.
Yes.
And you are saying that at an appropriate time you will take a decision
Absolutely.
when it comes to addressing the question of field trials.
Yes.
When that appropriate time will come, you will decide.
Yeah,
Or
but that is
Mr.
not
Modi
far
will
away.
decide. That's not far away?
Yeah.
Can I expect perhaps a commitment, say, in the Independence Day speech of the Prime Minister?
No, I'm not saying that. That's not a date-binding thing. First, let me receive the recommendations
Do you
and
believe
the
that is
due comments of my ministries, which I have not received.
Do you believe that that's the best way forward as India moves towards food security? Because it remains a big challenge.
It's definitely, see, we have to feed people. Our population in near future will even overtake China. And we need to ensure food security. And we have tremendous potential for export also if we increase our productivity.
So let's move on then, Mr. Javadekar. And since you're asking me that I should not be spending my time with you only on one subject, and you're not going to say anything beyond this, let me then ask you, sir, what's happening in Parliament? We saw yesterday the moves which were made by the Congress party. Is there some merit, Mr. Javadekar, when the opposition parties accuse you and your government of being so authoritarian that you're just not interested in listening to
No,
dissenting
absolutely
voices?
not. It is the confusion and desperation of the Congress which is on display. See, Congress has lost miserably. You see, there's an election verdict given by people. If they have not got 55 seats, which is the requirement of leader of opposition, we can't lend them 11 MPs, which we have extra than the majority on our own. We have 282. We require 271.
But they
want
60 MPs.
No, but they want only 11 for them. We can't loan them, no. So that's not. Let us respect people's verdict. If people have not given them power,
They are not going
and
to overthrow you.
People have not given them the space for opposition, then what can we do?
They're not going to overthrow you. They're not, of course they're not going to do that. But the point is, since you, I was asking about what Rahul Gandhi did in the well of the House yesterday, but since you raised this leader of opposition question, let me ask you, sir, where is it written in Indian constitution that a party cannot lay access to the leader of opposition's post if it doesn't have 10% of the MPs?
See, there is no ban on
It's a
anybody
matter of
demanding.
convention. No, sir. It's a matter of convention.
That is what I am saying.
It's
In
not a matter of
Telugu
law.
Desam, when it had 30 members, Congress never gave them the leader of
So
opposition.
therefore, are you suggesting that because the Congress didn't do
I
something
didn't
right,
say-
wrong, should the BJP also be doing that?
I am telling you the anecdote. I am not giving you the rationale.
But therefore, what is the rationale for the BJP?
It is the
Let's be
people.
clear. The people you believe are saying that the Congress should not have access to leader of opposition.
So what can we do?
No, but
It is the verdict of the people.
It is a verdict of the people that the Congress is down to 44
And
seats.
ultimately, LOP issue is not decided by the government.
Right.
It is the prerogative of the
Speaker. Right.
So Speaker has already said that she will give her decision.
Do you believe, Mr. Javadekar, that would it not have been better for you, sir, since you have 282 MPs of your own party, would it not have been in the best practices of Indian democracy for you to encourage dissenting voices? The message going
We
out
want.
is, the message
And
going out is that you
therefore,
are not allowing
No,
dissent to come
every
out.
day. See, now also Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, both are discussing. Everybody is free. Everybody, they are doing. They have numbers in Rajya Sabha. So they are. I won't say they are holding it to ransom. I will say that they are exercising their right, and we are not hindering it.
But you look at what you're doing even with the institution of governors. You look at what you're doing with the institution of high commissioners. I mean, look at the kind of names which are coming out.
See, governor no, because governor is a respectable constitutional post. So I don't want to drag names and what they have done. But if somebody knows the record and the Supreme Court, what it has said about misuse of power, blatant misuse of power,
right.
If so, who has downgraded the, it is the Congress.
Sir, have you not simply converted? Let's be honest, sir. When the Congress comes to power, the Congress puts in its own representatives. You come to power, you put in your own representatives.
No.
So the institution of governors now is essentially a political retirement plan.
No. See,
I mean, tomorrow when you'll be 70, you'll also become a governor.
1 minute. I was deputy chairman of the planning board in Maharashtra state.
Right.
The moment we lost the power in 1990, this government was still to form. Still I resigned. Next day I went to my village hostel. So what is wrong in it?
No.
If you are appointed, it's a political appointment.
It is.
Yes, then political appointees should. I did, and so.
So all political appointees should resign automatically if there is a change of
They should take the call of the conscience.
But have you been fair with Kamala Beniwal, sir? Such an old lady. I mean, first you transferred her from Gujarat to Mizoram. Sharad Pawar himself today has gone on record, by the way, and he's saying that this is nothing else but blatant vendetta politics, which is being indulged in.
Vendetta politics. This is absolutely wrong. Sharad Pawar is a senior leader, but on this I don't agree with him.
It's not as if you targeted Kamala Beniwal because she was on the opposite side of Mr. Modi when he was the chief minister.
Then we would not have waited for 70 days.
No, that's the question, that you transferred her, maybe because you wanted her to resign on her own. She did not, and therefore you had to sack her.
No, the Supreme Court decisions are not dictated by the government.
Okay.
They are there.
Mr. Javadekar, you are the Minister for Information and Broadcasting also. Now, as far as I understand about information and broadcasting is that it must be a two-way process. Now, why is it that a message is going out that this is the government, the Prime Minister and all the leaders, you all are only too happy to be dealing through social media? Because nobody can question you there.
No,
but when it comes to doing press conference, I know that you've been gracious enough to grant me this interview, but the Prime Minister, the other ministers, you are the party, sir, which could have managed the media. I mean, every day, you all, for the last 10 years, you all were on television channels, across different sections.
But now also, no, 1 minute. Nobody has stopped or nobody has instructed not to give to interviews.
Is it true or not?
Absolutely.
It's not as if some dictate has been given that please avoid the media.
Absolutely not.
That's not the case.
Absolutely.
It's not as if the Prime Minister's office itself is determining what's to be happening.
Absolutely not.
But Mr. Javadekar, the point is that it's better for ministers, for top leaders of any party in any government to be engaged. The Prime Minister doesn't want to do press conferences. He's not addressed a single press conference since he has assumed power.
You never asked this question to Manmohan Singh.
You were the one when you were in opposition.
But
sir, you were the one
we
who
also raised after 9 years. 9 years after waiting for 9 years.
Will I have to wait for 9 years?
No, you will not have to wait 9 years. You see 15th August speech, you will get more new cues. No, it's not monologue.
It should be a dialogue. The sense of a democracy is a dialogue.
But dialogue we are doing.
Dialogue you're doing. With whom? In vacuum?
With you.
But sir, I mean, it's like, you do most of this communication I'm seeing now increasingly is happening through social media. Is that a part of a strategy?
No, but social media is also one platform. See, when electronic media arrived, people thought that print media will die. It didn't die.
No, I'm not worried at all.
So you don't be worried. You should not worry.
You should be worried because you are the Minister for I&B.
But
so if 1 hour of the media suffers, you should be worried, sir.
But you will not suffer, neither print nor the social media. All three will be taken care of.
In conclusion, Mr. Javadekar, is it true or is it not true that under Mr. Modi, there is a sense keep media at an arm's length?
No, actually not.
That's not true.
That's not true. We want to communicate effectively with the people, and to communicate effectively with the people, we need print media interaction, we need electronic media interaction, we need social media interaction.
Do you not think,
and we will be engaging all the...
Do you not think, Mr. Javadekar, that, look at what's happening, for instance, these instances of communal strife which are taking place in parts of Uttar Pradesh. I do not see a single tweet, a single comment from the Prime Minister of the country.
No, but it is not tweets. Prime Minister tweeting on such sensitive issues, you think is the best policy?
No, answer, but I should hear, no?
No.
I should hear the Prime Minister speak in Parliament?
No, Home Minister is already saying what he has to say.
Mr. Javadekar, how many times you, when you were in the opposition, when you were the BJP spokesperson, how many times you asked this question of Manmohan Singh? Country is burning, this is happening, that is happening, Prime Minister is not speaking.
No, but this
How many times you all
that
asked
stage
for a
has not
statement
come.
from the Prime
you
Minister,
are,
sir?
you are actually not giving the required time to the new Prime Minister, and you waited patiently for 9 years for Manmohan Singh to react, and now you want in 90 days every response from the Prime Minister.
In conclusion, sir, I just want to be clear on this. It's not as if that there is a decision which has been taken by the government that the best way to deal with people is to keep the media out and deal with the people through social media, through Twitter and Facebook.
No, that's not the only media which we are targeting. We want all the three medias to give right view, because people are reading newspapers, people are watching TV. How can we ignore? We are not.
You enjoy being a minister, Mr. Javadekar, or you would prefer to be a spokesperson?
I always worship or work my work, and I always enjoyed whatever work party has given to me.
All right, Mr. Javadekar, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking time out to see CNN. Well, Prakash Javadekar there speaking out on a range of issues.